Picture this. It's the first day of school and your teacher has this grand idea. Let's get to know each other by asking these silly questions. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie? Every student is going to write down a one-word response, including myself. But there's one question that a teacher could ask that would make me write for minutes on end, and that is, what is your favorite holiday and why? As I write down all the reasons I love Christmas, and I realize that it's really not a hard task, and I could talk about it for hours. So that's exactly why I'm going to tell you why Christmas is such an amazing holiday. So today we're going to talk about why Christmas is the amazing holiday that it is, by first talking about why we celebrate Christmas, and then we'll talk about how it unites families and communities, and finally we'll talk about how we can find joy in the traditions that Christmas brings. So let's start off by talking about why we celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Christmas because it marks the day that our Savior, Jesus Christ, was born. From the article, What is the True Meaning of Christmas? It says, Christmas is about the birth of God's Son, Jesus. It's about how he came to give us love, hope, and joy. That message doesn't change from year to year. This is wonderful news, and we not only can we celebrate this every day, but we have a special day, Christmas, in the year where we can all celebrate this as a nation. Now we've discussed the meaning of Christmas and why we celebrate it, it's time to move on to our second point, and that is how Christmas can bring us together as a community and as a family. So how do you spend Christmas? Christmas time rolls around and students are flowing out of school and parents are taking off their work days. And in my family, we bask in the joy of Christmas. Our empty house begins to fill as my brother and sister come home from college and as my stepsisters come home from their dad's house. And we spend our quality time together, catching up on all the things we missed out on, and in the midst of all that, we're celebrating Jesus. I know the same is true for many other families as well. And not only does Christmas unite families, but it also unites communities. It does this through concerts, bell ringing, potlucks, church sermons, and going sledding with neighbors. There's so many things we can do during the holidays with our community members. This is a time to be grateful and show how grateful we are towards others through spending time with them. A quote from the 11 Ways Christmas Facts and Traditions Connect the World, it says, according to the data from the U.S. Department of Transportation, the average American travels 275 miles for Christmas every year. Where are all these people traveling, you might be wondering, and the answer is home. Students, distant relatives, workers, friends, family, they all have one thing in common, and that is that they're all traveling home to see their family members and loved ones. And the distance between them does not matter. Now that we've talked about why we celebrate Christmas and how it unites the people around us, it's time to talk about our third point, and that is how the traditions bring joy to our lives. So with Christmas comes so many traditions. Gingerbread making, sledding, singing carols, listening to the music, decorating the tree, and even driving around looking at the Christmas lights. I could go on for ages about all the traditions that Christmas brings, but it would take me forever. And traditions are so important because they give us something we can bond over, and they give us a way that we can make memories and also reminisce about those memories of the past. A quote, Sam Widimus says, in uncertain times, there's a lot to be said for Christmas traditions. Taste smells like familiar tunes can instantly transport you back to your childhood. And this is so true. The familiarity of our traditions being repeated over years can bring us comfort, especially in times of struggle. Just the simple act of decorating the Christmas tree can remind you of the joy of past years. Today we talked about why Christmas is such an amazing holiday and how we celebrate it, why we celebrate it, and how it unites us, and finally, how the traditions can bring us joy. In case you haven't realized, I love Christmas. I love everything from the music, to the church sermons, to the snow falling on the ground. I love all of it. And I hope that you can learn, or I hope that you already do love it just as much as I do. If you ever meet someone who doesn't love Christmas, I hope that you can let them know and remind them of all the reasons that they should be grateful.